What you think, Tom? You think I did a good job? What you see? Do you see something? Oh, everything's good? Okay, now that you got the majority of this stuff put back in, you know, the bell housing bolts, the starter bolts, all of the electrical, but before we button this thing up, I want to show you something that is very, very important. I don't know if you guys remember from the last episode when I took the steel transmission lines off, how they had those little clips. Well, I put the clips back into the fittings because I want to show you, if you don't have those clips in there, you're going to be buying a new transmission. So if you're doing this at home, be mindful of it. But I don't know if you can see that, but you see this little clip that I have in there? They're in there. Make sure that one's in and that one's in. So all you got to do is get the transmission lines wherever the heck I put them. Okay. Take two transmission lines that come off of the trans cooler. See how it's got this little bevel? That clip locks them in so they don't pop out. Now all you got to do is just push them back in. Make sure you hear the click. There we go. There we go. All right. And make sure you put these caps back on, because you don't want the clip flying out, because that would suck too. And then you'd be buying a transmission with that too. All right, lines are on. And since we're in the neighborhood of the transmission lines, let's put the transmission selector cable back in also. Here we go. Pay close attention to these two little wings here, because you're going to slide it in like that. We're going to just tug it just a little bit. See how it's spread it out? because this clip is going to sit right here just like this, so it doesn't pop out. There we go. And make sure you pop that in too, right here. There we go. All right, now all we got to do is throw the axles in it, fill it up with transmission fluid, and put the battery in it, and this thing should be able to go on a test drive.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared. And if you get in my way, you gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared.
Well, okay, we now got this Dodge Caravan completely put back together. So now what we need to do is we need to fill the system with the rest of the fluid that I had in those boxes. And remember, these things take 10 quarts, but we already used about 1.5 quarts on the torque converter, so we're just going to put about the 9 other quarts in there. And then once it's in there, we can start it up, let it cycle through. But there's just one thing. How are we going to find out how much fluid is in there? This thing doesn't have a dipstick. So therefore, it's time for... Now, just FYI, this dipstick hack is not my idea. It's all over the internet. It's all over YouTube, so I'm not the first to do it. I did do a video on it on the Jeep... it was a Jeep Compass, I think it was. No, sorry, Jeep Patriot is what I did it on, and it worked out pretty good. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna begin to do this dipstick hack, so you don't have to get screwed by the dealer. So if you go to the dealer, they're gonna look at a chart that actually has this information, and then what they're gonna do is use a scan tool, and they're going to just charge a bunch of money that you do not need to go through. So anyways, so the low side at 70 degrees, it's gonna the fluid level is gonna measure between 5 millimeters and 15 millimeters. And so what we're gonna do is transfer that information over here. We're gonna take a yes, don't fault me for using a protractor, but what we're gonna do is, because it's got millimeters on it, we're gonna inscribe with a Sharpie the 5 millimeter level, and then to the 15 millimeter level for the low. And then the next, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the high side, which is hot at 200 degrees. We're going to do 40 millimeters to 55 millimeters, and that should give us our proper level on our oil / transmission dipstick. So let me go ahead and start doing this now. Okay, we're not going to use the side that has the hash marks for the oil level, so we're going to turn it around just like that. Gonna lay it flat. Lay it flat, like I said, and we're going to count 5 marks on the millimeter side, and we're going to mark it. Okay, we'll mark it right there. That's 5 millimeters. Now we're going to do 15 millimeters, which would be right here in between the 1 and the 2. 15. So all this right here is going to be the hash marks for your transmission fluid at the low level, like I have right up here. Now let's move to the high side, the hot level, which would be 40 millimeters to 55. So we're gonna go right over here to this 4, because this is 40 millimeters. Okay, then we're gonna count 15 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's going to be about right here. Yep, 5, 10, 15. There we go. And this is going to be our normal level, high level, whatever you want to call it. So what we're going to do is going to get my file or my die grinder, and we're just going to inscribe a little bit, rough this thing up so we can see this thing better, because of course the Sharpie is not going to last on this stuff. So yep, let's go ahead and do it. See it right there, low, high. There we go. That's our new transmission dipstick. Natural oil dipstick. It's all one stick now. But anyways, and just a word to the wise, if you're going to use a die grinder like that, make sure you do not go too deep, because this is very thin metal. You don't want to cut the thing in half and then you'll really be screwed, because then you're really going to have to go to a dealer and buy yourself a new dipstick. So now that we got our levels all mapped out, let's go check the level. Hey homie, can I have my dipstick back? Tom. He's no help. Now this thing does have a fill tube, but no dipstick, like I showed you. So we're just gonna get our long skinny funnel here. We're gonna take that plug off that's down there. I know you can't see it, but trust me, it's there. It actually looks like this. See that? Dealer use only. Yeah, that's wonderful. Let's go ahead and fill this thing up. Remember, ATF4 Bopar. Okay, now this Dodge Caravan is cold, so we should be able to see that level on there, right there, if you can see that good. So let's go ahead and stick this thing in, see what we got. Well, that's not a good sign. I don't know if you can see it, but the level here is way off. That level should be down here, but let's start this thing up, let the fluid cycle through, and see if we got a different reading, because that looks like it is over full, because it needs to be down here. So what you think, Tom? You think I did a good job? What you see? Do you see something? Oh, everything's good? Alrighty, cool. Well, essentially that's how you replace the transmission pump at home in your driveway without getting screwed by the dealer. So if you enjoyed this episode, please smash that subscribe button and leave a comment, and I guess we'll see you next time. Peace.